what are your initial thoughts on how this Houston team is going to be this year?
Kate, I hate this division. I really do. Like, what a bad division this is. I think the Texans, I mean, they are the best team, and they're obviously priced that way. I mean, there's a big gap between them and Jacksonville for the second best odds. Houston's minus 105, and the Jags are plus 310. And for me, the reason I like them to win the division is by far they have the best quarterback and head coach combo in the division. Stroud, DeMeco Ryans, not even close. Like that combo. I mean, we obviously don't even know who the Colts starter is going to be yet at quarterback. Yeah. Liam Cohen is a rookie head coach, and the Titans have a rookie quarterback, and we don't even know what Callahan is as a coach because he had Will Levis last year. So there's so much unknown with the other three teams in the division. The stability with Houston, like it is just, I mean, it's so far above those other teams. So the quarterback coach combo for them off the bat definitely won. They also have the best quarterback in the division in Stroud. Lawrence is obviously two because we don't know what Cam Ward is yet. And again, we don't know who the Colts starter is. And even whoever starts for the Colts, they're not going to be as good as Lawrence or certainly Stroud. So best quarterback, head coach combo, best quarterback. And then the Texans have the best unit in the division as well. So if you took all four offenses in the division and all four defenses in the division, and you said whose unit is the best, it's the Texans defense. And again, it's not really even close. You'd probably put the Jags offense maybe up there as the second best with getting Travis Hunter, Liam Cohen now helping that offense out a little bit. But for me, I keep coming back to the Texans, Kate, because of those three things. The coach and quarterback combo, by far the best. The quarterback, by far the best. And then this unit is by far the best with that Texans defense. Top 5, maybe top 3 in all of football. Their pass rush with Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, terrific. They have one of the best corners in the sport in Stingley. So I don't really like the Texans, to be honest with you. But again, just by default, the other teams in this division, I think they're the play. They've won it the last 2 years, so they know that they're going to be getting everybody's best shot in this division. And like you said, Stroud was great his rookie year, had a little bit of a dip last year. They had a bunch of injuries at the receiving position, but they tried to address that in the draft. They got 2 early wide receivers with Higgins and Noel. They get Christian Kirk in the offseason. They have Nico Collins, who's a really good wide receiver. The running back position is definitely a concern because Mixon is banged up. Chubb is banged up. Like, you don't know what you're going to get from the running back position, and I'm not really crazy about their offensive line, but I just think by default, if you put the Texans in another division, probably wouldn't like them as much. In this one, I still think they're the bet. As much as I would love to bet one of these other teams at some of these prices you're getting, plus 310, plus 375, plus 775. There's a reason the Texans are minus money. I think they're the bet, and I think they win the division again.
PJ, can't argue with you on a lot of those points you made. Their defense, yes, by far the best unit. The coach and quarterback combo, agree with you there. I mean, you make all extremely solid points. My only argument is I came on here yesterday talking about the Jaguars and to win the division, so I got to keep it that way. So I'll argue against you on the Texans winning the division, but everything else you said is pretty much spot on. And yeah, CJ Stroud had a little dip last year, but you could also chalk that up to the offensive line not being great, the wide receiver injuries, the Bobby Slowick offense just not quite what Stroud wanted, operated well in. My only concern for that offense going forward this year is the offensive line still is not good. I mean, you go over to PFF, they're ranked 32nd. Last time I checked, that was the bottom of the league. 4 new offensive linemen. You lose Laramie Tunsil, and maybe you could argue, okay, he's not quite the player he once was. No Shaq Mason. You bring in Cam Robinson at left tackle, and you look at his grades on PFF, and he's about league average in his best season. So the problems for the offense last year, minus the injuries, if we take that out of it, it still was protecting Stroud, giving him enough time. And I think those are still going to be issues again this year because I don't think they did enough to address that offensive line. Now, the defensive line, that's probably what's going to win them games. I mean, that defense is really, really good. I think you could argue that unit is one of the best defensive units in the league. Top 10 for sure, maybe top 5. if you want to go further than just saying it's the best unit in the division. So I do like that. I'm very high on that, but it's the offensive line for me that is concerning. And then if Joe Mixon misses any time early on in the season, yeah, you have Nick Chubb as your backup, but he's also dealt with a ton of injuries over the last couple of years. So can you count on him long term? Those are my question marks. The upside for the Jags is why I am taking them plus 310 to win this division, and you get a little bit extra or a little bit better value. But Texans, I think, could go one of two ways: either be really, really good this season or kind of be about average-ish. I'm going to go under their win total, though, under 9.5. That's my play on the Texans this year.
Okay. Yeah, look, and again, I mean, they could go 9-8 and still win this division. There's no doubt about it. That could definitely be a possibility. I think the one thing that concerns you about the Texans, too, if I were to play devil's advocate, is they are one of these teams that it just feels like they can't beat teams that are better than them. You know, the Ravens and Lamar have owned them. The Chiefs have owned them. They did beat Buffalo last year, but Josh Allen played one of the worst games he did all season. Keep in mind that Lions game that they lost, that was the game where Jared Goff had 5 interceptions and they still found a way to lose that game. So, again, you play in the AFC South. You're going to play in 6 games that you're probably going to be favored in. The game at Jacksonville, maybe it's a pick 'em. The Jags are a small favorite, but you're pretty much expected to win all those games. They do have a first-place schedule, so they got to play Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Probably going to lose all 3 of those games, probably lose at least 2 of them. And then you do have to play the AFC West and the NFC West, which top to bottom, Kate, two really good divisions, you know? So the schedule is a little tougher. The quarterbacks they're going to go up against are a little bit better. So that I don't hate your win total play at all. Again, I think the Texans could win 9 games and win the division. Jacksonville is the interesting part of this. And I think the price that you're getting them at is why they're so enticing, I think, for a lot of people to bet them at plus 310. You know, when you lay money with the team to win the division, like, you really want to have no doubts. You know, you really don't want to bet it like by default. Like, you look at Buffalo in the AFC East, they're a huge price to win that division, but you really don't have any concern about any of those other teams winning unless Allen gets hurt, of course. The Chiefs, all those years that they were big minus money favorites to win it, you didn't have really any concern about them. Like the Texans at minus money, you definitely have your questions. You have your concerns. Me, and I'm sure a lot of people that are betting them or like them to win the division, it's almost because, like I was saying, you just like them by default, kind of. So it's a tough division, Kate. And we know every year in the NFL, there are teams that go worst to first in their division, right? A team that finished last place the year before, they win the division the next year. Now, San Francisco is obviously favored to win their division. They came in last year. So maybe they're just the team that does it. It feels like the AFC South, though, could be that division. Like, if Cam Ward turns out to be awesome, the last 2 top rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud, have turned out to be really, really good. Maybe Cam Ward is another one who turns out to be awesome as well. The Titans surprise us all. So this division could get wacky. It absolutely could, because the Texans are not a team that are going to win like 13, 14 games. They're probably somewhere in between that like 8 to 11 win neighborhood. And I just think because the AFC South is so weak, I think they just end up kind of winning the division.
That's kind of been the MO for the last couple of seasons, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been far and away the better team, best team in that division with how the Jags have played, and then obviously Colts and Titans last year with Will Levis. Let's go back to week 1 for this team, PJ. We talked about a little off the top. They're going on the road. They play Los Angeles, the Rams, and are 2.5-point underdogs. Do you take that now, knowing the Matthew Stafford news, the back injury, he's still day-to-day, hasn't practiced yet? Because if Stafford's out, you'd imagine that would drop at least a point. Like, do you think there's any way if Stafford's out, Houston would be favored on the road in week 1 with Garoppolo going for LA?
So let me ask you this. If Stafford is officially ruled in and we know that he's playing, do you think that line goes from minus 2.5 to 3? Do you think we get a 3 with the Texans, or do you think it stays at minus 2.5?
That's a great point, because I would like the Texans at 3 right now. I don't love them at 2.5.
Exactly.
I think, you're probably right. If Stafford's in, it probably does go to 3. Maybe this is playing somewhat ish in the middle here, not knowing Stafford's status. Ooh, that's tough.
Then
so
you
Kate,
wait on
and take the Texans. Yeah.
At BetMGM, the Rams, they're -2.5, but it's juice -120, right? So if you bought the half point with the Texans and went up to +3, probably be like a -130, like somewhere in that neighborhood. And I still don't think that's a terrible bet because you get the key number. And even if Stafford plays, I still think Texans +3 is a good bet. And again, if he doesn't, I mean, the Texans are going to be favored in the game. It probably swings. It probably goes from Rams -2.5 to Texans -2.5. And then by the time that gets bet up by the public, potentially, you could have a +3 in pocket. And if you wanted, you could have a +3 on the other side with the Rams. So I think it might be worth a bet. Like, you just buy the half point with the Texans. You buy him up to 3. You lay the juice. Stafford plays, cool. I think the line closes at 3, and you just have that bet. If he doesn't, man, you get the Texans as a favorite, and you got a great potential spot. You can just keep your bet, and you get great CLV, or you can hedge with the other side if you want and have great numbers on both teams +3. Either way, because it's probably going to be a game that comes right down to the wire anyways. But yeah, Kate, I think I'm talking myself into betting the Texans +3. I like that a lot because from what we're seeing with Stafford, it's not good. Like, it's just every day stuff comes out where it's just like, that's not what you want to hear. It's not great. And the Rams, like, they have Super Bowl aspirations. This is not a team that they're just hoping to get in to the postseason. They are building their team. They're going all in to try and win a Super Bowl. I think a lot of us feel like their team is good enough to go to a Super Bowl. So you're not going to risk that from, for a couple of week 1, 2, 3 games. Like, you're going to make sure he's right, he's ready to go. And I think there's a realistic shot he doesn't play. So I like Texans +3.